That's better. Now, before we go any further, let me tell you that Zhiyun did not sponsor this video. They did send me the light to make a review out of it, and I do get to keep it, but they did not get a say in what is in the video, nor did they get to see the video before it was released. So to that extent, all the opinions in this video are my own, and Zhiyun actually encouraged me to be completely honest. Quirks and all. Now let's hop in to the video. So the Fiveray M40 is a brand new light from Zhiyun, the company that you might know from their fantastic gimbals. But this is their second light that they've ever made, the first one being the Fiveray that came quite recently, I think. But this is that light's little brother, in a sense. Now the light does have some really respectable specs, and I think it just might be an invaluable asset to photographers, videographers, and content creators. So the light itself is extremely compact, as you can see. It's 13.5 centimeters by 7.7 centimeters, and 3 centimeters at the most thick part with the battery. That is so tiny that it can actually fit in your pants pockets. And with a weight of 320 grams, it is so easy to include in any of your kits, no matter the size. In terms of build quality, the body is almost completely plastic, but it is very, very sturdy plastic. So with the weight, I do feel a little nervous about dropping it, but I have no worries throwing it in a bag with any sort of accessories, really. You will notice that the body's 3 sides as well as the back have cutouts, and that is to supply the light with enough ventilation for the sheer power that it puts out. And for that cooling system, Zhiyun has actually brought in their Dynavort cooling system from their gimbals. So that is the first time, apparently, that it's been used in a light, and I gotta say it works fantastically. Even when I ran the battery down from full to empty at max brightness, the light never got even remotely hot. Slightly warm, I would say, at best. Basically how you notice it is that the fan at the back of the light turns on after a few minutes of use at max power, and then it adjusts its speed curve as it needs. But the downside of that great cooling system is the fact that it takes the light's IP rating down to IP20. So as you can imagine, since it has a lot of cutouts, you don't really want to take this anywhere near possible drizzles, or especially rain, or actually anything that's too dusty, because that stuff will get in here. Now last on the body, but certainly not the least, is this side, which has a sturdy metallic arm that can be used as a stand, as a grip. It also has 2 1/4-inch screw mounts so that you can mount this on basically anything. And underneath that you reveal the USB-C port that you use for charging, as well as the 2 dials, one for brightness and one for your color temperature. Now these wheels have some design choices that shouldn't be overlooked. First one being the fact that they have a nice grippy texture on top, so it's easy to turn them and you can definitely feel that it's not slipping. And the second one being that they have stops marked where you probably want them, so you know when the color temperature is at 5600 Kelvin, or when it is at 4300 Kelvin, or when the brightness is at 25, 50, 75, or 100%. Simple things, but really, really nice to have. Now, what are those respectable specs that I mentioned? Well, the Fiveray M40 the name is actually a reference to the power output. So it can put out 40 watts of power. And spread out across 176 LEDs, this light can put out a massive 10,501 lux at 1 meter. At this size. Of course, keeping in mind that I don't have any fancy light meters that I can use to verify that, I did compare the light to the Elgato Keylight, and judging by the specs, judging by the tests, this light can actually get brighter than the Elgato Keylight. Now, of course, the Keylight is bigger with bigger LEDs spread out across a bigger area, but throw a simple diffuser in front of this and you can actually get even softer than the Elgato Keylight, which is pretty neat. And all of that brightness is being put out at a CRI rating of 96 and above. And all of that is being powered by a 2600 milliamp hour battery. Now that battery works wonders. It allows you to use the light with max battery at max brightness for up to 29 minutes. And I've actually corroborated that with my testing. Now, if you want to keep it going longer, you can. Though you are going to need a power brick that is able to put out 40 watts or more. But if you do that, then you can pretty much run it indefinitely. So if you have a high power charger, just plug it in and basically infinite power, infinite runtime on the light. If it's any less than 40 watts, it's only gonna output at like 10% brightness. So yeah, if you want to use it continuously, get a charger that has a higher output than 40 watts. And the charging times aren't bad either. With the light being able to support up to 15 watts of charging, I was able to charge the light from 0 to 100% in around an hour and 50 minutes. Now, with all of those specs and capabilities, what do I think this light can be utilized for, and why am I so excited about it? Well, it can be used for so many things. Now, as a photographer, for example, I've used this light in situations where I just can't fit a bigger light somewhere. And of course, I could use a flash, but I'm just a fan of being able to composite things with a continuous light. Now, I've also taken the light with me for some nighttime shoots, and it's easily powerful enough to light a subject in, pitch black. So you can go outside without the need for a flash. And of course, since it is continuous, all of those points work for videographers. And like I've already shown, the light can be easily utilized to light yourself for something like streaming or YouTube videos without any difficulty. Now, I've already amassed a large amount of different kinds of lights over my career, but this is probably the most versatile, and it might actually not even be a competition. Okay, so all of that versatility must come at a cost then, right? Not really. The Zhiyun Fiveray M40 will set you back around $99 or 119 euros. Depending on where you live, of course. But I think that is a fantastic price for everything that this can do. Hey guys, Future Lo-Fi here. I just wanted to let you know that if you're interested in getting the lights and you're watching this video at the time of its release, around that time, on December 7th and 8th, Zhiyun will have a big Thanksgiving sale where they're doing a whole buy one, get one free kind of deal. So if you want to know more, I'll let Past Lo-Fi tell you where to go, okay? Of course, for that, I will put a link down in the description below so you guys can check it out. It will be right there under that like button. And while you're down there, consider subscribing if you want to see more of my videos. I've got a lot of cool stuff coming up, including a new office since we found an apartment, and I'm going to be moving next week. That is it for this time. I hope you all have a great rest of your week, and I will see you all next time. All right, bye. The light can put out a massive 10,501 lux at 1 meter, at 100% brightness and at 43,000 Kelvin. 43,000 Kelvin? What?